The next step in the assembly is going to be add parts onto this backbone. So I'll have this sub-assembly, and then I'll add the other parts and just save it as a new name or new number, and then that'll create my sub-assembly for the rest of the frame. That'll leave me with the 2 sub-assemblies. So I'm going to add this bottom kind of leg here as the next step. In order to do that, because that's going to be on an angle, I need to have a plane that's on an angle. Probably the easiest way to look at that. Let's see, let me make sure I've got the right tube. I think I want to start with this one. Let's look at, so that plane, that's a vertical right there. That YZ plane is kind of straight up and down. What I want to do is, I want to create a plane that's rotated at an angle, and that angle I'm going to rotate it is 20 degrees, and that's just my kind of approximation from my original sketch. In order to create a plane that's rotated, you need 2 things. You need an existing plane, and you need an edge, and that edge could be an axis. So the easiest way to do that with tubing is if you just click on the outside of the tube. Maybe I didn't get it. Oh, it's on there. I put 2 of them on there. Let me do that again. Scoot it away a little bit. So if you go axis, if you click on the outside of the tube, it'll create an axis for you, and that's that line right there. You'll see it show up right there. So now what I can do is, now the challenge here, again, my design is a little more complicated than it probably needs to be, but that's just how it goes. So I want to do a plane that has, it's this one here, angle to a plane around an edge. So you're going to click on a plane and click on an edge. So the plane is going to be that one. The edge is going to be not sure what happened there. There we go. And now it's going to show me this little visual, and it's the default right now is 90 degrees. I want to do a 20 degree, but I don't know which way it's going to go. And actually it did go the right, so it's, I know this is hard to see, but that one right there is my YZ plane. This is my new plane that I have on an angle. So I'm just going to turn this plane off. So I have that one right there. I can even turn this axis off now. I only needed it to generate that angled plane. So let's see what our assembly looks like. So notice how that's on an angle. So when I insert that, the next piece, I'll be able to use that as a reference there. So let's go ahead and place that on there, and that's part 213. And let's rotate it about the X. Right click. And now rotate it about Y. One more time. So that's pretty reasonably close to what the resting place is for that. So in terms of what I'm going to use, let's attach it to the tube. So if you click on this surface here of the cutout, right, not the edge, but that surface there, and then the surface of the tube here, you'll see it'll attach. So now it's attached to that surface, and I'm going to have to see that angle. That's what I'm aiming for when I'm done, is I want to match it up to that angle with that additional constraint. So let's go ahead and put that on there. So I'll constrain those 2 together. Let's see, what did it do? Yeah, there we go. Use that alternative solution. So now that's got that angle on it, and it's constrained on there. So that's good. To make our lives easier, let me go in and let me just turn off those planes so I don't I really don't need them right now. I can always come back. Try to keep that assembly a little cleaner. So now I've got it attached to the tube and it's also on the right angle, but I need to locate it this way. So what I need is another work plane to go by. So let's go to this part here. I need a plane there. Let's see what I have to work with. I have that original plane right there from, remember I did a mid-plane offset. Let's take that plane and do an offset over. That was 15.5 long. Oops, click on something there. So that should put me back to basically being lined up with that edge of that thing. Let's turn this one off. Now remember what I'm trying to do, let's go back to our assembly, is I need a place to line this up. That's not going to do me any good. I need a plane that's offset over to locate that. So let's do an offset from the plane. And I don't know what that number is going to be. Let's just try 1. So if I offset it back 1, I'm going to turn this one off. Let's see if that would work. That has possibilities. But then I need also, likewise, I need a plane. I need a plane here that's in that direction. So let's just do an offset there. The easiest way to generate a plane is from an existing plane, but there's multiple ways to get there. I have no idea what this distance is going to be. I put a -5. Let's try, oops, not 0.6, -6. I think I can work with that. I'll turn that one off. It's just a reference. It really doesn't matter. It's just a reference point for me to work with. I can always change any of these values. So now if I do a constrain from that plane to that plane, it'll pull that over. And all we gotta do is just see what it looks like. Ooh, that looks pretty good. The closer you can get to this neck, the better you're gonna be when I put the neck on that thing. So that's actually quite nice. If I don't like it, I could go in and move one of those planes that I just created. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side, and then I'll come in and add these other pieces.